I found the limits of my fuse. So, we're back. Let's start with this open. Alrighty. Bunch of different things here. Make sure everything's cut off here. Alright. Well, that was fascinating. Okay. 30-second, 5-minute. There we go. And then let me get this chart over here done real quick. Let's see here. Alright. We're going to need a 5-minute. I'm glad this chart kept instead of the other one. I would have been really geeked if the other one didn't trade. So we're going to move all these drawings. Again, we're using 2 different strategies. Very interesting. So let's hit this bottom. Hit this top, I believe, is right here. Yep. And then we're right in the middle of that range. 15-minute we're going to be looking at as well. All right. So, yeah, sorry about that. I had a heater on where I'm at. I guess that heater plus other things blew a fuse. So everything got clapped right there. Alrighty. We're moving down. So we kind of blew through this little level here. This wasn't a big buyer. I didn't expect him really to be accumulating. If anything, this is going to be a bigger buyer. Especially this is with data, so this is a buyer with data. So you see, we got a little bit of some love right there. Nothing crazy, but we just see how this morning plays out. If I had to assume, I would assume that these sellers are a little bit stronger than these current buyers here. But I think that this buyer down here is still very strong, very strong. So we're just gonna see where we land up today. See who's gonna start aggressing the market in certain ways. So yeah. All right. So these players are still active, still accumulating. See how these things work out here. All right. Well, I'm gonna go double dip for some coffee this morning. Man, I was getting into that electric vibe. Want that playlist back. Let's see. Oh, I think I have it. Oh yeah. I'm feeling this. All right. So we got our balance there. I didn't want to play that though. I wanted to see its reaction first. If anything, I'm down to short the 246 level-ish. Or the back end up here at 280s. 290s. But we'll see. See if this market kind of plays out this morning. Again, I'm going to go get a little refill on my cup of coffee. I'll be back. All right, again, sorry about that. Blew a fuse. Had a heater on, had a couple other things. Actually, did blew a fuse. Well, it would have blew a fuse, but. Okay. So we're starting to tap up into these cellars now. Which, once we identify our players here, this is going to be a little bit easier. So 40s. Pretty heavy this morning, actually. Oh, Afro. Cuban? I'll take it. Alright, so as far as levels go, well, let's see here. We're tapping our pre-market high over here. Tapping pre-market high on the 5-minute. Yeah. Tapped it, rejected. 10 points or so. And for our levels here, we just are holding up above this player up here. So I know that there's a bunch of things on the screen, but think of it in terms of the red is areas of where we found sellers before, strong sellers. The orange is a little bit more surgical with some of these areas. And overlaps what we want to see. Overlaps what we really want to see here. Right. So doing a little bit of rejection off this liquidity up here. So this might be a little rangy today, which would be good. All right. So we will be getting into some options trading too. Very excited about that. I'm going to fund my own futures account. We're going to fund our own options account. We're going to see if we can trade some options as well. I love trading options. Should be trading them right now. It's really the season to trade them, but give it a little bit of time. So yeah, really nothing going on right now for our house strat. We're going to be playing between these levels here, which it's really just nothing yet. I could have taken long from the buying liquidity, sell from the sell liquidity, but I want to see how the balance kind of plays itself out first. We had a little bit of rejection off of this pre-market high, and we're going to look to see if we can get in here somewhere. Really, we haven't put in our pivot low or pivot high yet. Just going to see how that works out. Down, 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 up. So this is your actual market buyer right here. Down, down, up. Market seller right here. So if the buyer is trying to take it up, actually take it up, then this would be the spot at 17. We'll go a little micros here. They're trying to accumulate and flag. Probably percent. Yeah, that's where 50% is. But let's see where we at. 217. See if we can catch a little bit here. Oh, 1 point above it. Let's go 218.50. See if we get a little flash and grab. Just gonna trade with one micro here. Just missed me. Alright, there we go. The fill got the tap into there. Let's see if this will hold. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, I'll play one more on the back end of this, front running this as well. If we're going to be expecting range day, if this closes below the orange, I'm out. Finger on the trigger. So we tapped into some of that liquidity there. Let's see if we close below it. Big, nice sell order here, though. So that is a new, looks like a fresh seller here. 1, 2, 3. So currently, this is your seller. And the seller's much bigger than the buyer. Let me see. No, about the same. Right here. So we're buying with almost the same size. They're selling into it with almost the same size. So we'll see how this plays out. This will be interesting to watch. This is looking like a 3-bar play now. 1, 2, 3. Still going to hold on to it, but let's see, 1, 2, 3 above the wick. I'm going to put a tight stop on this. If it 3 bars goes down toe taps, this liquidity though could bounce back up. I just want to see this liquidity hold. I'm playing this guy right here. I'm not playing this guy yet. Still chewing this liquidity up. Selling's waning, but still there's a lot of pressure. My pricing was poor here. This is why I could have played the top end of this and then the back end that would have put me probably like right here, which would have been a little bit better risk to reward. Right now for me, I can only look to like get a 1-to-1 roughly because I have to take profits just a little bit ahead of this player up here. So let's see what happens. This buyer is still trying to accumulate here. Pretty low volume node there. Low volume buy order. Throw VWAP in here, I think. So I'll a little peek at VWAP, see how we're looking. Need something different. Too much trumpets. There we go. Alright, so you see we tapped up into the selling liquidity up here and just tapped it, ran off of it, and then tapped back into the buyer, rejected off of that. So they're just trying to figure out who's bigger. I'm playing the long side here because of the strength of this initial move. But I'm putting a tight stop on it. So if we come tight, stop out here. Even though there's a buyer here and this could bounce off, find liquidity, and accumulate up, I still am going to try and play it very tiny. Oh, this is my Express account. Ah, lovely. Lovely. Good thing I have a stop. Alright. Well, we need to switch this to my combat account. Alright. There we go. Got stopped out of there. Alright. Well. Good thing I had a tight stop on there. And I didn't go crazy with liquidity. That would have been nuts. I mean, with the sizing. Alright, so here is that green, that insurance I was talking about. Bouncing off of this macro and playing up. I wanted this to play the downside. What's up, Samu? How are you? So you see we tapped right off the tip of this liquidity here and rejected. Oops, I might have you guys on the wrong screen. Tapped right off the tip of this rejection and came right up. So I was playing a really tight stop here. Very tight. I went long here, and then it ended up averaging down. So VWAP on the short term isn't going to really have much bearing. But VWAP on the 5-minute should have a little bit more bearing. So we're just going to keep an eye on it today. I want to see how it reacts. It's hard for me to really see where the volume weight is right now in the morning with all the chops. So So bounced off that twice. See, this would have been better pricing down here. Catching the macro. Played the micro this morning. Tried to catch it just in case it bump and ran, but we got to play macros. Stick with macros today. Yeah, Samo, good, bro. Made a couple trades this morning already. Caught a couple of good little moves, but need to err on the side of whoever the big players are this morning. So again, with knowing that we have these two players here in the market, we get a lot of chop. I might just want to play the back and forth between them all morning long. Buyer or seller? Oh yeah, let me see here. I need to keep an eye over in the price target chart. All right, so we do. Looks like we may have a pivot high here. Maybe. Find out. And our pivot low keeps rolling over. So this has been rolling over. So we don't have a pivot low yet, a true one. Not really a bull trap this morning. So just need to be cautious of that. 30 seconds left. Not a bear trap setup. So we're just going to be stuck in the middle of this range. We do have our top trend though, which is nice. So nothing much to do there for this moment. All right, new bar here. Let's see if we put in our pivot low as well. A little peak here, a little pivot low over here. So let's see, we don't have it yet because we haven't had this bar immediately got broken through, so that one's not a trend. This bar pretty much cracked, so that's not a trend. I need to wait for, I'm waiting for an actual reaction. So if this becomes a break here, we get another bar. I'm gonna look to play this to the upside. So it's trying to, it's knocking on the door. We're just gonna see if we're gonna get the move. So by the way, this liquidity got eaten a little bit. We're gonna have Shark on the stream a little later. That's exciting. Do 1 hour 1 micro. I need to find a better name for it. Right now it's 1 hour 1 micro hour. A micro hour. There we are. There it is. All right, chewing up a little bit. You see there's a new buyer aggressing this. Honestly, it should be right here. Or buy side might not be looking bad here, especially with this liquid. We are going to get a little bit of some love here at the 240s. Could get a little bit of a rejection there, but I'm afraid to reject there, especially when we have double overlap. We can run all the way back up here today. So this seller got completely taken out, so the seller's gone. We have a little bit of a gap up on the 30-second. That's really bullish. I'm going to take a little stab at 45 just to see a little bit of a rejection. Yeah, a little stab at 40. Let's go 3 ticks below. All right. So if we take this is not a trading recommendation, by the way, especially right now, because this thing could just fly upwards. I'm going to take a little bit of this overlap liquidity right here. See if we can get a little tap. This guy got taken out, by the way. We got 2 minutes left. So we're running it right into pre-market high right now. It's showing us a little bit of resistance. You can see that 41 area again is resistance here. So, oh, just missed me. See, that's the flash I was looking for. So I was about a point and a quarter off. That would have been a nice little short there, but still can come up, and it still, to be honest with you, I don't really want to play the second one. Play the back end of this guy now. And I'll get out if it goes above 52. So. Alright, I don't like this as much. I should probably half size this. Especially because we tapped up into that liquidity and we directed off twice. I do not want to play this back end anymore. I was hoping it would come up. Gotcha, Pop. I got you, Pop. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. So we rejected harshly, man. That would have been a good 20-point short there. So missed that one. Right though. We are kind of inching into this seller up here. Man, they got these things spread out, don't I? Bring these back a little bit. If I'm gonna play any level, it's gonna be this back one at 280s. 280s to 300s. I'm gonna look to go short. Bigger short, besides the short that I tried to take right there. Now I'm less interested in the short. If anything, I'm going to be expecting this long to get pretty crazy to the upside and thus take out the 80s back here. So I want to get good pricing. I may play the break. Notice, see that little rejection there? See that algo flick? Sold right into that. So, oh yeah, that's what I needed to do. I still think we can get some upside here, get some upside legs, but this is that seller. So we almost caught the short. We were almost there. We were like a point and a quarter off. I put it like right here or something like that, right here. Just missed me. That would have been good for a couple 20 points. Still not too crazy. We are getting ready to play a break though. Over here, so we have 1 bar, 2 bars. If this bar goes green, and it needs a couple things. I need the volume firstly to get above this volume, which this volume did not get close. And it looks like this bar, so we got 20k volume here. What's over here? 21k. So we got, well, technically that's in a strong trend. We should be fine here. This isn't a strong trend yet. Yeah, we should be fine. 5k. So if this thing starts to fly up and get some legs, we can actually see it move here. I am tempted to get into this right now. It's not ready yet, but we should see it's the market's getting ready to see if it wants to crack above this level. Let's see if I play this. All right, I'm gonna take a long here at the top. I'm gonna play the bottom of this move here, where it should catch bidders. See here, 2, 3, play, and then 1, 2 up. So really the bid's here. So we'll see what happens here. Not a trading recommendation. This is that overlap that I wanted to play earlier on the sell. But if this thing's getting ready to prime to crack, we should see it come up to the 80s at least. So I think this whole thing would get ran through. So you see a little bit of some selling there. Big volume. See that big volume step in? So that's a decent amount of absorption there. People are getting absorbed. I'm holding this for about 20 points of loss. 20 points of stop. It's not a tight stop. If anything, I would look to get back in. Let's see here. We got a minute 40 left. Big topping wicks here. Keeping it below pre-market high, as you can see. So we need this to get above pre-market high if we really want to get involved. I would still take it in the 40s at 40. I'm just not going to love it. So that rejection's coming off pretty heavy. We have our stop right here. Volume's still not too crazy. I'm going to buy a little bit more right here. So I'm doubling down. There we go. We got the stop. Okay. So that's fine. This is that level I wanted to play short. You see that? Right here. That's exactly what I was talking about. But because of the consolidation into the area, this is less likely to work. It's actually more likely to get completely ran through. So something to keep in mind of. By the way, we have a bull break out of these two bars. We tried to go higher. As long as we don't engulf this bar, this will be a bull trap if it comes back into this area. But look at this, it got engulfed right away. So I put my stop right where I probably shouldn't have. I should put my stop where I should have put my entry, because this is exactly where the buying would have came in. Now we're gonna go knock on this door again, see if it goes. So just out of position there this morning. A little frustrating, but it's all right. There'll be more opportunity. But think about it. So that was that short for 20 points, short for 20 points. Almost got both of them. And now the buyers are trying to take it. So they got rid of this seller here. They actually took out this seller. So I'm still bullish here. I don't want to get in again this high. I want my pricing to be good, but it might be, this might be it right here. Take one more stab. Take one more stab here. If we crack this one, then it's all good. We tried to take the position a couple times. The poorest thing here is the pricing. I'm getting poor pricing. Little FOMO. I don't really play breaks too much, so this is a little bit of fear of missing out. So I'm sacrificing good pricing. It's not that I don't think it's a good move up. It's just I'm getting poor entry. I should be getting. I could have played. See, this is the buyer here. So 1, 2, 3 right here. So all of this was buying, right? So when we came down, we dipped into that pool. I should have entered into this dip. See that? And then we have another buyer here. So this is a little bit of overlap right here. So I could have played into the overlap and then got the bid. That's okay. Be more opportunity. So now because of that, like where my pricing would be here, we played the bottom at 215s. Now I have to kind of play, I'm forced to play the higher end of this. So it's just poorer execution. All right, so let's see what happens here. I still would like to get a little bit better entry at the 23, 24. Let's see if we do a little tap here. Not a trading recommendation. Because if we blow through those levels, you can see the seller's still active. But let's see. So 3 minutes left. This candle, by the way, closed with a bigger wick than the body. So this, for example, let's see here. Right here. See the wick is all the way up here. See the body didn't get above halfway. So I would not take this second bar. I would look to wait for a third bar. The volume's where we need it to be. I just want the third bar to be green. If the third bar is green, I will take this trade. If it's not, then I will not take it.
Order filled.
All right, ended up getting stopped out for a third time, or second time. Oh no, sorry, we got our entry. May get stopped out though. This could be our second stop out here. Trying to get that better pricing, not getting a hot reaction like how I like it. So yeah, we ended up getting stopped. Nonetheless, I hate using stops, but that's how I'm playing the breakout. So hold on 1 second. Sorry, people saying bye over here. Okay, so we cracked that level. All right, so a couple hits this morning, but we're gonna get a little bit better pricing. That's gonna be the goal of today. Not playing no breakouts. Well, this is why I wait for 2 bars, and especially the third bar. We go over here. I would have got stopped out here, right on this 2-bar break. But since these wicks are both higher, the rule is, statistically, I don't take it. We also have a new pivot high here, so we'll move that up. Go ahead and move that up. We're playing a big range here, so if I wanted to get long somewhere, it would be right here at this bottom pivot right here. Oops, not mean to go 20 there. That was too heavy.
Order filled.
Oh, look at that. We got liquidated on this combine. So yesterday, you guys didn't see, but yesterday I had traded while I was at work. And it was a horrible decision. I ended up taking some trades that were not only horrible, but I couldn't manage them. I was like in the middle of work, and I went like, I was playing really heavy. I go like, look at these fills. They're like, that's 50 lotting fills here. So we'll get another combine going on this. But yeah, nonetheless, we're still on our Express account. This is a new strategy, so it's a little bit difficult. But yeah, we were up actually 750 yesterday. So we were on our way, but when I got to work, which I make the worst decisions at work. Oh, by the way, this account's going to get, all my stuff's going to go, isn't it? Yep. That's all right. Well, we'll get back to it. Okay, so let's just hop over the practice until I get a thing going here. We'll have a look at some liquidity levels and whatnot, but let's just get over here. So here's the Express account again. I wasn't supposed to take any trade this morning, but I'm down a touch. So here's a nice big candle. Nice big candle. The problem is if this is going to be the trend break, I can't take it because it's too big. It's the biggest candle of the day. Yeah, 50 points. I think that's the biggest candle. Yeah. So the biggest candle of the day, I can't take any trade off of because typically they're more likely to get ran through. So for example, if this was a bull trap, came down with the biggest candle of the day, it would be more likely to get ran through. There's less of an edge with it. So I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. All right, let me make sure I'm not. Make sure that mouse is gone. All right, here we go. Let's see here. Looking right now because I may want to just fund a live account. Wow, Shopify's up 24% today. That's crazy. The options only went up 200%. All right, so we have one break here. Second break's coming in. May take out some levels, but I really don't want to play the biggest bar of the day this morning. So we're just going to have a little peek. Now, if this came down, let's see, we got bodies pretty much all through here, but let's look from the regular session. If it comes back here, basically here to here, if it comes back in this pocket right now, I'm going to go long. If it comes back up in this pocket within 30 seconds. If it comes down, it could still go down quite a bit, but I think it's going to be less likely to actually work for at least a 1. So let's just say it goes down here. We're going to be looking at pre-market, break pre-market lows and go down again, which is honestly possible, but all right. So here's our second break. Tempting to take it. I'm not going to though, but it is tempting. I'll catch another move if we end up going. All right, let me see here. Let's open up. don't know what screen this is going to pop up on, so I don't want to show any info. Here we go. Keep an eye. If that candle comes all the way back into traces, I'm going to take it long. Okay. Guess just heard the trader screen here. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. There you go. Right. Setting up my NinjaTrader right now. Let's see here. Now I don't have to deal with this chart situation either. Chart thing was horrible. Getting my charts reset all the time. NinjaTrader will be nice just to have a separate brokerage altogether. Alright, let's see here. What else do I want? That's with NinjaTrader in so long. Alright, here we go. So that did kind of come back up. It just didn't come. Oh, technically we broke out of these wicks off the morning. No, we didn't. We broke out some of these wicks, came back up to the wicks. It is true that this is a little trappy, but I would have preferred it coming back up into those bodies up there. So even though this is technically a trap, let's see, we're here. This would be your take profit up here. We'll see if it actually gets up there. But your entry would have been right here, 201, so this would have 30 points so far. Let's see if it actually gets the entry. Although this trend's gone, we have a new pivot low here. Keep an eye out that. Alright, let's see here. So we are getting the NinjaTrader set up right now. So yeah, this thing set up currently. Which I need to change these bars because they're opposite to my opposite of my top step. Oh. Trying to look, how do I get? Yeah, I'm gonna be messing with this for a minute, so give me some second. All right, so take profit almost happened. We do have a little break here, so if this breaks and actually breaks, I'm gonna be taking the long. Let's see, what do we got? Give me 1 second here. All right. Boom. Second, trying to make sure that getting things appropriated here. I think this is how we're gonna do it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, I need to make sure that I'm not giving away any info before I do this. That's what I'm worried about right now, so let's see here. Right. Let's see if that's gonna work here. Alright, so we didn't quite get the break here. A little update. So this is still in effect. I mean, it would be effect, but I'm not taking it because for me, this is not the trade I wanted. It was close to getting back up into this range. I really would have preferred to break this wick here. We did break these, so it's a hard one to really get into, but I would have preferred the quality had it came back up into these bodies here. So I'm not going to play that. And we didn't quite get the bear trap up to the upside again. So with all that being said, I'm not playing either of those. Now we're kind of at a little inflection point here. It's just trading right between these two players. And before I had them marked out on my charts, we could see who those players are. All right, give me a second here. We're going to try and get my NinjaTrader running here. Here we go. Let's see. I was to get rid of trying to do this in a way where I just show the appropriate things here. I don't want to show my account number and stuff. I don't know if that necessarily matters, but I just want to make sure. I would probably have to share my window and create a new scene. All right. So anyways, for right now, still there hasn't been any trades on this account. I accidentally took a trade on my Express instead of my Combine. We have one break here. Need to get up to this volume. We just 2-bar here and we don't get the volume to really uptick, we're going to assume that this guy is still stronger. So keep an eye on that while I'm getting indicators and things set up on this other thing. All right, here we go. Let's get rid of that. How do I do this? Go. Getting this NinjaTrader up. I'm working on getting the appropriate indicators right now. So going back through this, but I'm still keeping an eye. We had 1 bar break there, 55 seconds left, and really there's nothing much I can really do here. We have 1 bar break. If this one goes green, then I don't take it. If it goes red again, then I can't get in because of the volume context here. So still going to be a no trade for me. 15 minutes really not giving me too much. There's a person accumulating, but it's pretty much all I see right now. If I had those levels up, we'd be playing kind of the areas, the zones, but that's all right. So I'm trying to get these indicators off the ground here. So let's see here. All right, I should probably be copying them. There we go. I want that over here as well. Let's see here. What else do I need? Curious. Interesting. All right. All right, so we're gonna do that. I let that bar close green, so still a no trade here. Gonna continue to roll over between these inflection points until we actually do a break here. So, like I said, we don't take the biggest bar. It's more likely to get retraced. Almost got fully retraced, and yeah, we'll still see. I think they're just cooling off the options right now, the options market. We got data coming out tomorrow, so expecting kind of a sideways day. But if we do break with a couple bars here, I'll look for a good little continuation. Other than that, I'm going to continue working on getting this chart in shape. Do remember how to get the candles to change color here. I swore it was here. In a minute. It's gotta be here, right? Right, what am I missing? Yeah, no hotkeys with NinjaTrader. All right. Oh, okay. Here we go. Down bars I have as white, and these ones I have as green. I don't know about forest green. Let's see here. Let's go ghost white on these. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. That kind of hurts my eyes a little bit though. That green contrast is brutal. Be a different background. Ugh. Colors are brutal here. That does seem a little bit better though. That white's pretty white. If I go darker, it'll help even more. We'll leave it here. Okay. Oh, that's nice, actually. Better. Barely. Okay. That green is too brutal. Okay. Yeah, how did I get to the bars? Almost had a break there. And it didn't. So we move this up. And we continue to hold on for the ride. So buy volume increasing. So they are trying to take this position up if we're looking from a volume standpoint. So this is a little bit of a double area down here. See this? So they're fighting to get this position to the upside. There is a player up here, so we'll see. This could be a move here to the upside. Not a trading recommendation, by the way. Okay. Dude, I cannot find where to put the candles. It's been too long. I don't know how I got to it that time. Oh, do I just double click the... Let's see here. Hold on one second. Tried to break that trend again, couldn't do it. Sorry, I'm getting these charts set up here, but still, just a quick little peek here. You are running into a little bit of some selling. It's supply up here, but Still working on this chart over here. Nothing much yet. Look at these levels. This was a little bit of a trap. I just didn't love it. We broke out of this wick, these few wicks, came back up into this one. Big gap between there, so didn't love it. I mean, if we took these bars into consideration here, which is pre-market, that worked. But usually pre-market bars don't work too well. So still saying that there's bearish trap down there, but besides that, not much I could do here. So coming up in this range here, huge consolidation area range. We're playing between a big supplier up here. That supplier is coming from over here, right? So the top of this supply, and we have a bidder that's trying to take the market up here. You have buyers stepping in here. So if we were to put a little box here, you have some supply here. As you can see, we dipped right into this supply again. See that? And then we have some supply here. Sorry, not supply, demand zones. So that was a little bit of an overlap, which is great. Would have been a great setup had I had those charts up, but that's all right. Boom, 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 boom. So this is a triple area down here. Be very interesting. All right, so keeping an eye on that, but for the time being, can't get above this big player here. So there's somewhere in here, roughly. So we keep tapping into them, but it's proved to be pretty big. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get this chart over here. Oh, here we go. Set up. All right, let's see.
In the mama.
I get a little break here. There we go. I figured out how to change the colors finally. That was driving me crazy. A little bit of rejection here. Oh, was that a trap? That was a trap. We're going to sell one here. Maybe our first one. So broke out of these bodies, all of these bodies here. Tried to go higher, came back into range. Now this isn't a very choppy day. So because of this, it's much more likely that we're gonna get ran through. So I gotta remember that. Because of the chop, I may go 1.5 instead of 1.75. Just because of the context of today. So 1.5, let's see where 1.5 takes us. Yeah, we're gonna run right into all of that down there. So I'm gonna take my profits right ahead of them if we actually do get down there. And this will be my first trade, actual trade of the day for this account. So again, tried to go higher, right? Broke out of these bodies, tried to go higher, came back down into the body. So pretty much anywhere in this pocket here was a gold zone for me to get in. So I will take my in there. So we'll hold on to this short. Got a decent fill, didn't get too crazy. A couple points actually better than what we would have. And then if we get a trend break here as well, we're going to continue to add into that position. So let's see here. We need to put a 3-point stop on this. 39.75. All right, there we are. There's a 3-point stop. And we'll keep an eye on that. In about 20 minutes, we're going to have the micro hour. We're going to have Sharks trades on. He's going to show us his style of trading. He's going to have 1 hour to trade with a micro on a very choppy day. Could be a good range day for him. But we're going to see if he ends up getting anything. And yeah, it'd be nice to have a guest here. Coming soon.
Order filled.
Yeah, I got you, Shark. No problem. All right, so just a little update. We're gonna push back the micro hour, and we'll be moving it to, instead of 8:30, we'll be going to 8:45. So maybe we'll start it at 9 o'clock, which will be right in time for lunch. Maybe we'll get some action during lunch. We'll find out. So that trade did close, by the way. It closed in the direction that I necessarily didn't want to close. Well, didn't want it to. Just the way the context ran, it went against our trade. So I'm going to cut this trade here. And the reason is because we had a trap here. Bull breakout. Tried to go higher, came back down. Bulls are trapped here. We have a bear breakdown. Tried to go lower. Bears are trapped here. So now it's really when I have a double trap like this, I stay out of this whole zone. Stay out of the whole thing. I wouldn't take a trap in any direction. And I want to see a trend break out of this zone here. If it doesn't break out of this zone here, then I'm not getting involved on either side of the market. Now, that's from this strategy's perspective. Now, we know that there is players here in the market, right? Your players are roughly right here. So your sell players right here. So buyers, sellers, and we're just pushing back and forth between the liquidity. That's all really what we're doing today. Anytime we kind of tap up into this liquidity, we find sellers, not new buyers. Anytime we come down here, we find buyers, not new sellers. So we're just bouncing back and forth, which is okay. So knowing this, we could play the range though. We could play the range a bunch. Rejection, come up, tap, come back down, play the top. So just hanging out and waiting here, trying to be patient in this range here. We see the buyers, sellers. If I was playing this range, I would be a buyer here, the 80s, the 85, 86 roughly. And if it cracked below 76, I would be out, and I'd be looking for a full rotation back to the liquidity up there. So getting my DOM and everything set up on the on NinjaTrader. We'll be trading with NinjaTrader with a live account. So just waiting until then. Keeping an eye out for this 15-minute. We do have one trend break here. So if we get another red bar in 4 minutes, I'm going to be taking this short in the context of the 15-minute. So that's going to be something for me to keep an eye on.
Order submitted.
Shorts working out from that earlier. Although I was more likely to get stopped out. Which, let me think here, yeah, the short ended up still working. But in the context of this, still is forced to get out. We're tapping right into this area where we should find some buying liquidity. I will be going short here on the 15-minute context in a couple seconds here. So that's going to be something to keep in mind. Yeah, so bulls were trapped here. Caught the bounce though, trapped some bears, and then went up and just engulfed that whole thing to the downside. Now we tapped into that liquidity down there, and we're making our way up a little bit. So this is that buy area, which I would like to buy to catch a little bit of gone, which we're almost up 15 points from that again. And you're in the context of almost another trap on the 5-minute. So very interesting price action, very choppy. And so, you know, we got CPI tomorrow. So this is to be expected to have a real rangy day today, which is okay. This comes down though in a minute 30 seconds. We're just gonna put this up. We'll leave this little ruler up real fast. Let me see here. Let's put this right here. And so far we have that wick here. So if the bar goes above this, it won't matter anyways because it's doji's. But so as long as this bar is red a little bit, I take the short here on the 15-minute. And I'm going to be looking for a rotation roughly down to pre-market lows. So we'll see. We're starting to tap into this liquidity again. This time it's acting colder to the touch. So expecting it to maybe crack this time. You can see that the algos are starting to try and accumulate here. See the volume really ramping up because the algos are filling a lot of orders here. But will it be enough? Will they get satisfied? That's the question. We don't know how big these algos are. They're not reacting super heavy and hot right here. So 30 seconds left. I am going to be taking the short. It is not a recommendation. I'm not a financial advisor. And we'll see how this one works. Ooh. See if we get a little continuation here. Now, from the demand zone perspective, we haven't cracked it. So I would not take this. I would be looking to long this for my other strategy. So a little bit of confliction here, but I am going to take this one. Oop, not with that many. Take that one short here, right at the close. I'm going to be looking. Let's see here. Hold on one second. I'm going to cut my mic.
Order filled.
All right, didn't really see the 5-minute context there, but there's two 2-bar breaks here. One on the 15-minute that comes up over here, the other one that comes here. So I'm actually supposed to be in for 2 right here. So I'm now in for 2. You can see a seller really aggressing. So a lot of this buy liquidity got taken. And that's a new seller selling into them. So very interesting here how this is going to play out. But pretty much so far, this is selling liquidity, and wherever this wick resides, that's going to be your new selling liquidity. So if that's the top, it's going to be here. So this is going to be a new seller aggressing, and we haven't had a new buyer really aggressing this market since back here, which he just pretty much almost got taken out completely. So we'll see how this works out. Trying to get my DOM set up here. Trying not to share any info, but I don't think I can avoid it really. We'll see. Take care, Samu. Have a good one. I'm not really loving this Dom over here. This Dom is very, it's a cause for complaint for me. 2K, we don't want M2K. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see, MYM, we don't want MYM. Alright, let's see here. So I caught that bid off this area here. That's exactly where I would have bought on my other strat. And we would have played it. It would have been tough to play it to a specific liquidity level since this is all new selling technically. But I may have gotten my 10 points and ran. So 81 to 91. That's probably where I would have done it. I don't know if I would have held for 20 points. 20 points would have been nice. Just because of the way that this seller's aggressing. That's why. So wherever this lands in 20 seconds is going to be our little land right here. Points above that, 36. Let's go 39, 25. There we go. All right, and then our second one here is going to be up here, 27. So we're going to go 30. All right. Now let's see if I can actually get this thing going here. Trying to get this Dom fitted over here. Having a hard time doing it. I'm gonna have to like actually watch a video on it. Let's see.
Oh.
All right. Very interesting here. You have a new pivot low again. So if this breaks and we have another break, I'm going to add to the short again. Very interesting. This is very interesting. I mean, this is a buyer here. We know that these are strong levels for buying. They just position themselves a little lower with the sells. So we're going to see. All right. Sorry, I had my mic off there. A little bit of a bear trap here. If this comes up, still going to be in a short, even if that is a bear trap, which would be bullish, because we are pretty heavy-handed in the shorts right now. So, looking for that 132 area, and let's see if we can get it. Last, 5 bars have been red. It might take us a while to get there. So we'll see. This buyer is holding up really well. As you can see, they're really accumulating here in this area. Really trying to buy this up. So very, very interesting. I'm still working on getting my NinjaTrader set up. Get the DOM ready. The chart is ready. Just need to get the DOM ready. So the DOM's proving to be difficult. But all right, so those are the ideas. Here's your little bear trap here. You see that reaction off the bottom, they're really tapping into some liquidity here. So if we can't find new buyers, though, we're going to continue to put pressure on here, and people are going to continue to sell. So, oops. We will see how this one works out. We'll Looking forward to having Shark here. Hopefully in about, I think he said about 30 minutes from now. It's going to be nice. Micro hour. Looking forward to it. So, just a little update. Still working on this Dom. So far, no good. Okay, so we got a little crack here. As you can see, we hit the bottom of that liquidity and it's getting accumulated again. So this buyer is really pushing to take this up. Doesn't mean that he will successfully do it. And again, I can't take this if it has a bigger wick. So if we're looking here, you see, this is the bottom of the wick. So the body needs to be below this level here. If it's above this level, I can't add. But I'm about to add a third contract if we can get below this level. So let's see what happens here. This is a big accumulator here. So let's see what happens here. 30. All right. Keep my finger on the trigger. Best case scenario, it closes really strong to the downside. Whoa, 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 whoa. Got a lot of action over here. Kid's taking over. All right, 10 seconds left. Need to stay below that halfway point. If it goes above that halfway point, I'm not taking it. 3, 2, 1. All right, added another there. So we took out this guy. We took out this guy. And we're starting to eat up into the bottom end of this guy here. So if we actually chew him up all, now he's really, they're really trying here. Like their algos are really filling up some orders here, which is great for them because they need to get out of some orders. So increase in volume again. So if we're looking at the selling here, this is a new seller again selling into this area, and we're starting to take out buyers. So very interesting. We'll see if we actually get the leg down that we're looking for. This is going to be right ahead of pre-market lows. I may take it off a little bit below there. I don't know if it's going to come all the way down. This is well, technically, we might be okay. Technically, we'll see. We'll see how this ends up working out. Because if they're going to accumulate up, it's going to look something like this, right? So let's see here. Something like that. We're going bodies though. Bodies are something like this. But we'll see what happens here. In for 3 now. What do we got? We're going to put a stop above this last seller here. 6 points. All right, so now we have our 3 stops in for each of our entries, plus our final stop, and we have a new low. So let's see if we can carry on and get this move down here to the 32s. Meanwhile, I'm over here working on the charts and the DOM over here. Got my charts set up at least. They look pretty good, I feel like. We can add VWAP or something a little later. Got the volume up down looking pretty good. Nice and thick. So that's nice. We can throw in a couple other things here. I'll probably mess with VWAP a little bit, even though we're not going to need it too much. It might be nice to get a little profit take eventually from. And then let me see here. What else? I don't have volume order flow on this one. I don't necessarily need it, but yeah, we'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out. I'm trying to think. I usually don't go too crazy on the indicators, but VWAP's always nice to have. Let's see. Do they have? They gotta have VWAP. That would just be volume weighted moving average. Volume weighted moving average? No, that's not. That's not. Although, hey, I hit the screen. Let's see. Put this one over here for right now. So again, in the short, would have looked to buy there. That initial reaction I would have taken. The second test I would have downsized. I would not have gone as heavy. And now I'm in shorts, so, or I should say the house blend is saying, let's get into shorts. So we are following the guidance of this strategy. Hanging on, got one last little accumulator here. Hanging on for dear life. And they're filling up the rest of these orders. And I don't really see another really big buyer here until... And I don't really see him until... I just don't see him. I don't see him until this one down here. I don't see this as a buyer at all. This looks like reactionary, so we'll see. Got my stop orders up. Started to bounce a little bit off this buyer down here. 70s, not too crazy. We'll see how it hits. All right, I'm gonna go take my kid for a little walk here. I'm still in my shorts, as you guys can see. Definitely finding buyers down here, right? We ripped up about 30 points off these buyers. They're still gonna try and accumulate down there. But according to what my price action scale is saying, we're gonna move down. So we're gonna find out. I have a couple stop orders in place, and I'll be back. All right, I'm back for a little bit. We just got done with our walk. Looks like we broke through this player here. Didn't get another entry short. Still looking for those 30s to go to get our fill here. We're in for 3. It'll be a nice little short if we can get down here. Yeah, we're going to have a shark on in about a few minutes here. Just make a little tiny bit of breakfast, and we're going to be on our way, getting a little refill on the cup of coffee. I hope you guys are having a good morning. And it's going to be nice. Shark's a great trader. We've known each other just for a little while, but it's going to be nice to have him as a guest. So excited about that. Alrighty, so that being said, let's make a couple of little adjustments here. Yeah. All right. Looking forward to having him on. We're going to jump into a Discord call. He's going to share a screen. It's going to be a nice time. All right. In the meantime, give me another few minutes and yeah, be there soon. All right, we are back officially. All right, let me see here. What do we got? I'm going to. There we go. Okay, we got our NinjaTrader account is funded officially, so that's good. We're looking forward to trading with this. And let me see here. We're going to get ready to have Shark on in a second. Any second here. Let's see here. All right, so we saved that. That should stay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna cut my we're gonna cut the music for a second. We're gonna have a guest on, and I'm gonna cut my we're gonna get things prepared here. All right, guys. So we have our guest in the chat. Uh, guys, welcome Shark. He's a trader. Yeah, we're gonna share him right now. This is Shark. Uh, real name's Aaron. Appreciate you joining the stream, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
All right. So this is called 1 micro hour. And we're starting your timer a little late here in about 10 minutes, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Well, my first name's Aaron, but I go by Shark in my Discord. But I've been trading off and on since 2006. Really didn't start trading full time until this last year, back in January. And during that time, I've kind of went away from options trading, decided to try out the prop firm industry and see if there was anything else I could learn. I really didn't trade futures before then, so the futures were all pretty much new. But I did I did fall in love with it. So I mean, it's a lot like trading options as far as the amount of money that you can make in regards to your risk. So that was kind of a decent trade for me.
Nice,
During
man.
that time, I've definitely had a road where I went from being more of a gambler style trader to really backing off of all gambling. And in the last 3 months, I've been totally consistent in my trades. And then also during that time, I've also developed some charts. And basically, I have a couple charts that I'll probably share with you.
Yeah, let's jump on your
Right
charts,
here.
actually. Let's do it.
And
We'll get you switched over right now. There you go.
so yeah, this is one of them. I don't have it available to the public; it's private. But basically, the gist of the chart is it gives a VWAP line of where VWAP was from open or whenever you set the tool, and then it also has a look back of the pre-market high and low. So pre-market low and then pre-market high, and so inside of it, this is basically fibs from the high and then fibs from the low. So they're not like equal fibs if you were to draw it out. And then I have a color represents different things to me of where they are on the fib itself.
Very nice. What levels on the fibs do you say you take the most weight from?
Um, Typically, the 786 is definitely the one that I do, and 50%. So this one's basically 50%, and this one down here is the 786. But yeah, and I look at those very heavily because anything over 786 is going to pretty much continue. It's like it's going to have range expansion if it's on the downside of a 786, and if it's on the top of 786, it's usually going to be a range expansion to the upside.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're looking at both the expansion and the retracement fibs at the same time. Is that what this is?
Correct.
Okay. Excellent. So how do you differentiate both of them? You just know by color? Oh, here, never mind.
Yeah.
I see them inversed both ways. Never mind. We're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just know the 50% is the yellow, right? The 786 is the brown, or 782, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Excellent, excellent. So cool, man. Excited. That's really cool. I think I've seen your trends before. I haven't really been able to dig in too deep, but I noticed that your levels they've been hitting pretty decent at times. I mean, especially right now, we can just see that bounce right off of that 50% initially, that retracement, and then we see that bounce right off that measurement at 782. So that's just, is it 782? Is that what it is? 782 fib?
786.
786. Okay, 786 fib. So yeah, very fascinating.
And also in representation, since these lines carry over into these numbers here, which are really cool because you can see where price is as it hits it without having the line be messing up your chart, have it extended all the way over. It just kind of just goes as the chart expands in time. So it makes it really nice.
Very cool, man.
The other chart that I really like, I'm going to turn this one off for a second, is basically the opening range. And I'm going to
hold on 1 second.
Yeah,
Tracy, you're saying you can't hear anything. Can I get a confirmation in the chat? You should be able to hear him. I can hear him on my stream. Let me maybe turn you up a little bit. Can you talk again a little bit, Shark?
Yeah. Anybody, if you can, I can try to also change it in. Let's see, you're sharing from Discord, so
you should be good now. I think I might have had you just a little quiet. How's this? Tracy, I don't know if you can still hear, if you guys can still hear. Hopefully I didn't have you too quiet, but should have been up there a little bit. Yeah, you should be good. You should be good. On my end, the audio is clear, so let's just keep that going.
All right. So yeah, so this is the other indicator that I came up with. Basically, the indicators I try to make myself, but the ones that I can't make, I get help and I pay for. But the last one I showed you, I did have a lot of issues. I worked on it for about 8 hours, and I just rose my hands and said, well, I'm just gonna have to pay to have it done. So I did that.
Oh wow.
And then this one I came up with by myself, but basically it's the opening gap from the 1600 hour of settlement, and then what it does is it as soon as you do let's see, the first date would be the previous day. Like yesterday, it would have been Friday because Friday was the last day before Monday because we don't count Sunday, and then today would be the 12th. And so today's opening gap was super small, which just means that the market has not decided. Usually when this happens, this is usually a doji day. If you look back on a daily chart, there's probably a doji that's going on and
right,
that probably represents that as indecision, which just means that the market has not decided which way that they want to take the price action. But what this tool is it measures the distance of the opening range, and then it, like here, this is actually a 5-minute chart, which I usually do this on a 30-second chart, and it will change drastically on a 30-second. But it on a 30-second chart like I normally do. The opening 30-second candle, as soon as it's closed, it will place a green line across, and
Okay.
then whatever settlement is the prior day, it will place a line there for settlement, and then it'll place a 50% in between. My favorite trade, when it works out this way, is going from open to that 50%, because I can pretty much with about an 80 to 95% success rate, know that it's going to hit that 50%,
Interesting.
80 to 90% of the time.
Okay.
So there are some rules to that, though. I mean, the price has to be within 20 to $40 of the settlement. So
40
if it's
points, 20 to 40 points.
yep, I always say dollars. I don't know.
It's okay.
It's
It's all
dollars
right.
to me.
Just
It's points,
clarifying.
but yeah, yeah. But yeah, 20 to 40 points. And I like it when it's closer to 40, because that means that I get um I can change up my sizing, and then also my take profit. You know, and it makes it a lot easier. And also during the day, like you can see, it came back to settlement. So today settlement was a magnet all the way back, from a magnet to settlement, magnet away, magnet to settlement. So it just keeps on doing that until it picks a side, and then pretty much if it's above settlement, like on this situation, then it would be bullish, and if it's below, it would be bearish. And that's kind of how that works.
All
I
right, man.
mean,
It's great
yeah.
contest. Before we get started, so we got 2 minutes left. We just hit that 2 minute marker. So this is 1 micro hour. You have 1 hour to place some trades. You have 1 micro to do it. It doesn't matter if it's on a practice count, real account, it doesn't really matter. The rules are you have to place a trade. And I know that in trading, we're sitting on our hands a lot. Sometimes we're waiting for good opportunities. We don't necessarily have I need to take a trade. But for this segment, you need to take a trade. So, so that's
Okay.
how the rules are here. So the other thing is if you are going to take a trade, we would expect to at least get 5 points as well. Not in your trade, but let's just say if you only were going to like pass, not going to get involved. It's either get a few points or hold for 5 minutes. But yeah, those things, not a big deal. This is for fun, but you get us to talk us through your mentality, what you're seeing currently in the market. Again, it's probably going to be less of a macro, especially at lunchtime, right? We're digging right into lunch. But it would be interesting to see what how you would play maybe on a smaller time frame. If you have to, it gives us a sense of where your analysis is. So
I
yeah,
I can do this off a 5 minute too, if you like that. It really
whatever
doesn't
you
matter the
like.
point.
Yeah, whatever you want to share.
Yeah.
Share.
What?
That's what smaller time frames
Okay.
probably will work better. I'm assuming because of the 1 hour that we have, but you don't need to.
Mhm.
It's really you got free reign. So,
Sure.
but yeah. So tell us, what are you seeing in the markets right now, currently in this
Okay.
window that we're seeing?
So currently, right now, we have not reached pre-market lows yet. Just looking at that, we have not reached pre-market lows,
Those
and
those are sitting at
um,
29, right? 29,
yep,
129.
28.50,
Okay, 2050.
128.50.
Okay,
And since we have not hit it, the chance of it hitting is high, especially since we've made this move down. Um, it doesn't mean that we will hit it. We did hit pre-market highs right here, and we just broke it and came down. And we did not have that follow through, when we came back down here, and so we basically just retested VU up. And so I
got you.
suspect that since we are so close to breaking this, we got held up here, that this area right here, it's not a strong area that it's broke through with commitment like it was right there. And you know, it did find its way around a little bit, but if it tests right here and bounces, it could bounce right here, or it can come back through. I take every level. I take every level as it's going to stay in that level until it breaks. And
Got
so
you.
this right now would be in that level, and this would be a downtrend. So I would only be taking this as it retested this area to come back down. So
Got you.
um, since we bounced right here, and we're basically looking for it to decide what it's going to do in this level, because it's definitely holding up in this level for some reason.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So you're thinking of taking one micro, and oh, I see. This
You
is
c-
a. I
you
think
can
this
have
is
as
a
many
shade.
trades as you want, so it doesn't have to be
Change
one.
it to. Let me change it to my because this is
Yeah,
minis.
practice account, no problem. You could do real account. Really, it's totally up to you.
Yeah,
I leave it up to you.
let's go here.
This is not
And we're on
necessarily how
micros.
we would full-fledged trade anyways in the real action. We want to wait for really quality setups or something. I tend to be over trading, but yeah, nonetheless, yeah, you have free reign. So tear it up. By the way, I mean there is a little bit of a trend of buyers. I'm still holding my short into 132. I'm short from 81.
Sure,
So,
sure.
but yeah. But anyways, continue. I'm excited.
All right. Well, so are you going to be taking any trades at the same time, or how does that work?
It's gonna be full-fledged for you. I'll be noting, but I'm not gonna, this is your hour, so I will not be sharing my screen.
Oh wow.
And you can do as much commentary as you want, what you're seeing. I'll ask you maybe some questions here and there, but for me, just know that my target's 132 for short, and that's just for my chat. But they, it's really
All
up
right.
to you. Yeah, but free reign, please
All right.
take over.
So just to get anything else out of the way, so this is just trade ideas. None of this is advice. So just want to make sure everybody knows that as well. Well, I am going to take a short there, and then I'm gonna put my stop loss just above this last candle up here.
Now, I think you're in a mini, not a micro, but we can do it. We could run it
It
as
says
a.
micros, but this is MNQ.
Oh, so are you
So
okay? Well, that work. It doesn't matter then. We'll be able to count your points anyways. That's all I'm counting by. Anyways, I'm not counting by price, so that works. So it'd be basically 10 times less than this, I'm assuming. So yeah, but that's no problem, by the way, because it won't really matter. We're worried about the points anyways. We'll just take the points off your fills. So you went in short at 146, right? Yeah.
I was going to try to get in right here between, so that it could. We did have this strong candle up, but we have all this selling pressure down. We're being held up here, but we haven't taken. We have not taken yet this pre-market low. So I'm actually expecting that it will at least get close to it or break it. Doesn't mean that it will.
No problem. Let me see
But,
here. I'm trying to. Alrighty. I go get a pen, but I think I'll just do this in docs.
yeah, we do have those buyers that definitely stepped in right there. We'll see if they hold up, because we also have some sellers up there around that 60 level. It's going to continue down, so we're going to get stopped out there right away.
All right, and where was that
Just
stop at?
The stop was at 57.50.
All right, no problem. No, it's happy. Yeah, we are catching.
No pressure here. Jeez.
No, it's all good. We know that there's, it's not going to be. People who don't take trades won't even be on the list. So as we're going forward, I want people to participate. This is a tough area too, tough day, because you're catching right before CPI, not super clear on trends, right? So this isn't going to be an easy day. I know that for you. So I mean, playing it rangy, it depends on what it is, but yeah, as of right now, it's no problem. Just walk us through your process, see what you're seeing after that buyers came in. How do you feel? What does that change for you?
Um, it doesn't change anything really. I still think that price is just chopping around that area.
Okay. hmm So
So
specific
yeah.
scenarios, walk us through like a scenario that you may see. Like the fibs right now that you're drawing, what are you seeing from those?
Okay, so this is basically just a regular fib that I've taken off the one here because I'm going to draw another one as well. But and then I reversed it to where I have the 786 from this VWAP, and then I'm also going to place another one on the other side, which is going to be actually from this low to there, and then I'm going to reverse that one as well. Do is that gives me a window that tells me if price breaks outside of this channel here, which way would be the more likely way that I would think it would go?
Got you.
Because 786 is strongest on both sides,
So,
and a 707 is like the last place from where price is that it would need to support before it tries to break lower or higher.
so are you taking those fibs from the 50% or that what where the current price was?
There. Okay, so they're from low. They're
Okay.
from the low to VWAP
Okay.
and the 50% to VWAP.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Really cool, actually. Seeing these fibs like this because it's nice to see how a market could range, right? We see these ranges that happen,
Mhm.
and these fibs kind of give us some hit points that we can actually take from it, which is nice.
Right.
And again, you're really only interested in playing the 50 and the what would be the 382 to the upside and the 382 to the downside, or the 786 on each one.
So above this 707, which is really close to this one, and below this 707 for the
Okay, okay,
downside.
got you. And this is a 30-second chart, so you really got to zoomed in right here. Nice. They're used to
Let's
seeing
see.
me trade on the
Let's see
30-second
what
anyway, so
let's see what it looks like on a 5 minute here. This is what it looks like on a 5 minute.
yeah,
So it's ironic. So this candle, without me knowing on the bigger chart, it was basically between here and here, but I drew it like that because it was off of my fibs. But yeah, so we are, on a 5 minute chart, there is some solid support right here, even though we've came through to retest it. So we are kind of sideways right now. Have to kind of break out of this channel.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself mostly playing breaks? Do you ever, well, no, do you ever like try and catch support levels with fibs or not necessarily? You try and more play the breakout zone.
Yeah, if I'm coming up, if I'm like in this area and I'm coming down, I'll like these candles. These are not good candles to trade. This is not because all it is just wiping out. This is basically the smaller candle, and then we got a seek and destroy here and a seek and destroy here.
Got you.
Small candle, seek and destroy, and then
It's
and
seek
then
and
we
destroy. I like that.
yeah, and then we just have a teaser candle here, and then we have a candle, and then a seek and destroy, and then indecisive, stronger candle, and then some follow through, and then we have this big candle that is, really saying, hey, let's let some buyers step in, but then we still have this huge downtrend to contend with as well. So there's downward pressure, even though we had all these sellers that were getting out.
So those seek and destroy candles, those are engulfing candles technically, or is there a difference between engulfing and those?
They would still be seek and destroy even if they had a small body and big wicks, as long as the wicks are outside of the previous candle.
Got you. Okay. So why the terminology seek and destroy?
So that's actually an ICT terminology. I didn't come up with that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and I don't. I I take a lot of different kind of strategies, and I just take little nuggets from them. So if there's something I can
Sure.
learn from 'em, like the order blocks or fair value gaps or however you want to call them, or all of these things, I just take little nuggets out of them.
Yeah.
So just kind of anything you can add to your trading to make it better and more consistent.
Yeah, your little toolkit, your little arsenal.
Yeah.
So we're in this range right now, right? We're chopping back and forth, and this is obviously lunchtime too, so it's going to make it a little tricky. But you're saying if we break below 707, you're gonna look for a situation to go short, and then if you break above 707, that's going to be a
Right.
position for you to try and go long. Okay. In the short, I can't hear you right now. I don't know if you're not talking, but
Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
okay. So you're in the short. It broke below, retested. You took the retest, and now you're looking for a continuation.
I am looking for a continuation.
And you're gonna play the bottom of the fib. So that's about a 2-to-1. 2-to-1, you're playing the bottom of the fib, and that's the value area low about? Or I
Yeah.
think someone said that, right?
Yeah,
Value area low?
it's probably pretty close to value area low.
So some guy, thank you for that value area low at 133. We got a little rebellion going on. Tracy, there's a couple different brokers. I know NinjaTrader allows very small margins with ES, or I'm sorry, MES. So you only need $50 per micro. So for example, I'm trading with NinjaTrader right now, and
Okay, I just got
go
stopped
ahead.
out right there.
Okay. Did it pop back up?
It did come back up to hit. I trailed my stop there, so
Oh,
I got
okay.
out at 145.75.
Okay, let me get those fills there. So your entry was at
Entry was right right here at 153.50.
do you have that actually marked, or is that just because I think you were above that? I think your entry was a little bit better than that.
I don't think it was. It went against me for a little bit, and then yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if is there a way to look back on in here to see where it was for fills?
Maybe orders.
There we go.
Here we go.
Here it
All
is.
right, so your short, okay, you had the sell at 146.50. No, that doesn't seem right. When was this? When was the time for that? That was right now. So 60 was your fill price. You shorted at 146.50. Right? No, the stop loss was right there at 160. That doesn't really make sense though.
Yeah, this is short, so we're selling price and then we buy it back.
So you took a loss?
This first one was a loss, yes. And this is the second
Oh,
one.
the second one's below. Sorry. Okay, that's what didn't. Okay, 146.50, and then
So this is
156.25. So yeah, you did have
Yeah.
a better fill than 153.50. Okay, 156 and 146.50 was that. So nice 10 points right there.
Right.
So tell us how you take your trailing stops.
Usually I wait till they're about 1-to-1, and then I move the stop to break even, and then I try to trail it after that. If I can get more, I'll get more.
Excellent. Okay, so do you trail it like by a point basis every time, or is there? How do you like to trail?
Yeah, I typically like to trail about 15 points.
Order filled.
But that
Order
one there,
filled.
when I put it at 1-to-1, it came down and then came back up, and it just hit the 1-to-1.
Got you. What's going on, Kyogomu? Kyogomu. Kyogomu? Is that right? Shark, what's that other brokerage that people like trading with that has small margin too, intraday margins? Was it Tradeify or something? Which one was it? Tradeivate?
Tradevate? You're talking about like there's AMP, Trade of Eight.
They'll have really low margins.
Yeah, AMP has pretty low margins.
Okay.
I'm gonna take this one again.
Short again.
Yep.
All right. Back up to that 707.
I do the same thing. 61. Take that to. I'll basically take the same thing there. As this on here.
All right. And that short's the entry. I can't. 150. Where's it at? Where's that entry? Short entry.
150. 151.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you.
So that's pretty close right there.
All right. By the way, I did clap a couple of my shorts just because we're running into this trend. It's not necessarily a part of the strategy, but we are running into a little bit of support here. So I tapered off 2 of my contracts. I was in for 3. I'm holding my last one.
I'm actually going to move this down here.
Okay. You're trying to keep on that leaderboard for a while.
Let's see here. Sure.
All right. So we're about 20 minutes in, catching a nice short. Why do you think it's going to go? What's the reasoning for moving it down this far?
So okay, if you were to look at the price as if you were to forget about all the fibs
Okay.
and you were to look at the price as a fib, is after the move that we just had is okay, going from 21,000 to 22,000, is 151 stronger or is 500 stronger?
Is 151 stronger or is 500 stronger in terms of
Just the number.
500, I would assume?
Right. So if I lessen that and break that down in quarters, so like let's say 250, let's say you say 250 and then maybe 150. Is 250 stronger or is 150 stronger?
250.
Okay, so it's not up there by 250. So and we move down. So my assumption is that price would probably start, since we're moving down, it would move away from the 250 closer to the 100.
Okay.
Like the other side was moving up, it's moving away from the low to the high. From here, it's moving from the low or from the high down to the low.
Okay. Okay.
So what I'm getting at is that since we're not holding 200 up here, that we're still trying to test these lower areas.
And because of we're not holding the 150, you think there's a lot more leg room down to the to at least 100. You think it went
Correct.
2100 would be more of a round,
Correct.
more solid number. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
All right, getting a little crack here. Let's see if we get a little continuation.
And my original stop I would have done it from here, so I would already be at 1-to-1 right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna move it down here, so I'm not gonna move it down until I get 50%, which is gonna be basically right here.
Okay. So if you crack 50%, you're moving your trailing stop to 50%.
Right. Or just above it, so I don't get stopped out.
Order filled.
And so also on the daily, I don't have that chart up right now, but I also look at the daily as well. And right now we have two days of dojis that are before this day. So and we have not yesterday, but Friday, or let's see, what day is this? The 8th. We have a bottom at 118,
Okay.
and we have another bottom at 98.03. So 118 is probably the place where it's going to get hung up the fastest. So let me do a point above it. That would be where I think that we'll end up either, and then I think that we could bounce off of that, or we could head to the next low, which is yesterday's low, which was 98.03. And I'm just going to mark 98.03 on here.
Oh, I didn't have my mic on the chat. Okay. Let me leave my mic on the chat. It toe tapped 32.50. That was my take profit. It didn't fill me though on top step. So I ended up getting out of my trade, but we are out of those for 3 shorts. That ended up working out. But all right. Shark, your short is looking great so far. This is nice.
When we break this, I can move this fib down also, which will align with some of these other things. How many people do you have tuning in today?
Looks like we got 8, 9. We're hovering between 8 and 9 on the stream, which is cool. And I'm going to try and get these videos edited and put on my other channel. So these will be the first channels. We'll call it the micro hour. That's our segment. And yeah, these are going to be the first ones that get edited. So hopefully this will draw attention and attract other traders, and hopefully get other traders that want to be hosted as well. I would love to have other traders and pick their brains, their process. Thank you again for coming. This is very enjoyable.
So I did move my stop a little bit. It's where if it got stopped out, it would take it without going against me.
Okay.
Had a pretty good bounce right there.
Yep. Yep.
I could have took a lot more there, but I didn't want, since we hit this with that long candle.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to pick up any more sellers to come back down, if there was any trap buyers in here.
Okay.
So that was kind of the idea there.
So where was your fill on that one?
Let's take a look. That would have been sell. Original was shorting here and buying here 146.25. One 152.
All righty. So we got the fill price there. Yeah, this is nice. So you're green, Shark. You're green on the session so far.
Woohoo!
Alrighty, let's see here. And let me see, that's gonna be
And so this being pre-market lows, this could be a bounce area as well. We just don't know depending on what structure we start to build,
yep.
at this pre-market low. So if you look back here, this is kind of what we got. So it it if you look at the details, we did not actually hit the full pre-market low, so it's not very far. I mean, this could be a huge bounce point, just like the top was. We
Yeah.
barely broke it on the top, and we did the same. Today's price action is like that. So
All right, man. So if we're expecting a bounce, hold on. I should catch this phone call, but let me see. Let me catch this phone call. I'm gonna cut my mics and then just take over.
right,
I'll put them
all right,
on hold. I'll put them on hold. I'll call them back.
all right.
They're not gonna like me, but it's okay.
So now we're getting up to this 50% of the low and VWAP from open. So the thought is that if it's below the 50%, it's bearish, and if it's above the 50%, it's bullish. So we've came down a long way. We've bounced off of here. The question is if this low is going to hold, and if we break here. And the question, since I have my fib is from this 50% to VWAP, I know how strong it is based on how far past it gets and holds. And the
Got you.
same thing on the low side.
Some guy just also mentioned we just bounced off value area low. Beautiful, beautiful level. Yep. Will we get a little continuation? That's the question. So if it goes back up above these fibs, you're going to consider that bullish, or does it have to go 707? I didn't catch that last part there.
Yeah, we need to go above the 7-7 with a candle close.
Got you. Okay.
Right now we just have selling wicks. There was people who bought up there, so they're trapped.
Yep. So this market didn't let me in anymore personally. So this would be my orders ended up getting filled. In the meantime, I couldn't touch it. So I'm a spectator, which I like to be. So we got about what we got? Were we halfway mark? Yeah, we're 1 minute away from the 30-minute bar closing. It's gonna be interesting to see how this closes. You've done a great job managing trades so far. Would you say that how do you deal with the psychology of knowing you could have gotten more on that trade, for example, but ended up getting stopped out a little bit early? How does that
Totally,
work
totally
with you?
okay with it. Yep.
So
So is it a disappointment? In the back of my mind, it's a little bit of a disappointment, but I try to limit my loss more than I try to make a gain. So if I limit my loss, I'm gonna stay in my I'm gonna be able to trade for longer. But if I worry about my gains, then um, I could try to stay according to plan as much as possible. But the biggest thing that I like to do is make sure I limit my loss, because that's the only one thing I can control.
survivability, you're looking. So how does that work? Is there a way that you're looking? It's more of a long-term mentality, right? Would you say?
Yeah, right. It is definitely more of a long-term mentality, because I don't want to blow accounts. I haven't blown accounts for a long time. Probably going on more than, for the prop firms. I'm probably going on close to 3 months, 2.5, 3 months,
It's excellent.
and and having smaller size always works better, and then also having tighter stops. Like the more you trade, the less size you want to use, and the tighter you want your stop.
Okay.
So because you don't want to increase your risk. Let's say you have already made $100 or $500 during that day, and you take one more trade. You want to tighten your rules, not relax your rules. So if you tighten your rules, your stop's going to be tighter, and your risk to reward is going to be tighter, and you're just going to end up taking the profit little by little, and then you're also not going to take the loss because you're not going to allow it. So you're setting yourself up for the excuse me for the next day, for the longevity of your trades.
All right. So, with that, I'm sorry, you mentioned tighter stops. So, how many trades would you say you take on average a day? Let's say a median, let's say a low on a low and then on a high. We'll get the average, but
On,
let's say
on a
low.
low,
Yeah.
on a low, one trade. On a high, 20 trades.
Okay, 20 trades on a high. Okay, so let's just say you're having a day that is you're kind of getting hit on a couple trades. Um, do you still find yourself trading, or do you find yourself kind of backing away and stepping away from the computer? What would you say?
So it's funny you asked that because I just had that conversation with one of the guys in my Discord, and what I've found is that, like, on days like that, what I like to do is I always first, when I get into trading, I always open it up to only one account. I don't copy trade on anything until I feel like I'm trading with the market instead of against the market.
What
And
what
I take
what is that
one.
moment? Is that just a good trade? Is that like you're just really things are reacting really
Yeah,
well to your levels?
feeling like I'm in the groove, feeling like everything is responding the way that I need it. Um, that I'm making good decisions, because I mean, I'm not a robot, and I don't think anybody else is, and we can't we have to judge and, and judge our own abilities by what's happening, and if we have the wrong trade location, then something's wrong with our process, something's wrong with our mindset during that trading session. And so my thought is if I only trade one account during that time instead of putting the full risk on, then I can use it as a test before I decide to go in with other accounts.
Got you. Very nice. Do you ever catch yourself over trading? Let's just say you
Oh
tighten
yeah,
your stop.
absolutely.
Okay, you tighten your stops, right? And that does make it to where, um, maybe some trades because of the tighter stop. If you didn't have such a tight stop, the trade would have worked out for you. That's also hard to manage psychologically. So how does that work?
So usually, if I'm over trading, it's usually because I'm winning, not the other way around.
That's a bad
If
problem to
it
have.
so so if I'm losing, I won't overtrade because I'm not moving on to another account.
Got you.
So that tester account will determine whether, if I'm overtrading, it's because I'm winning, and it's not because I'm like losing and overtrading anymore.
So
'Cause
if you're putting your foot on the gas while you're winning, when is the point that you'd say you're over trading?
today today I overtraded, um, and I took 6 trades.
Okay.
So when is it when I've reached a set dollar amount? Usually I hang it up, and then but today I saw two more trades that presented themselves, and I took them. And I I didn't I put on less risk, more risk or more risk to reward, more reward to risk this morning, and they both worked out. And then it was like double my, or actually triple my normal win.
Very
And
nice.
so I definitely overtraded, and I'm happy that I was able to be successful. But on the same token, I have to I have to cut it, because if I get in the mindset to keep doing it, then also I could get in the mindset that I could also be doing on the wrong side, and I don't want to create that. So it's better just to to stop while you're ahead and not continue.
Very good, man. No, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your mentality on this. By the way, we're starting to come up to those fibs that you were talking about a little earlier. Can you walk us through that scenario again of what you may be looking for?
So right now it's tested that 50%. That 50% again is between the low of the day and VWAP from open. And that 50% is either going to get hung up there and reject and continue down. We are in a downward motion right now, but we are definitely retesting, and so excuse me. So we definitely need to hold this 50%, and then break this 786, and then ultimately this 707, and we need to get a candle to break it, come back down and test it, and then potentially when it does that, that would be an entry for long to the higher to come back up to VWAP. Usually, I think that you and I had this conversation before, but I always thought that that lunch close was at 12, and you told me that it was at 1:30, I think. So is that correct?
So lunch from is 12:30 to 1:30, I think. It does
Okay.
start somewhere at 12, but yeah, 12:30 to 1:30 New York, which would be my 9:30 to 10:30 here.
Okay.
But it's always give and take, right? I mean, if there's action, they need to be there. But there are probably some days that they're not even getting lunches. But if you guys are new to the stream, welcome, by the way. We're having guests Tuesday, Wednesdays. We have guests. Shark is our guest today. We appreciate him very much for coming on the stream. He's going to link his Discord in the chat, and he's got a nice Discord, a lot of resources, great people in there. So he'll definitely be a resource if you guys wanted to reach out or anything like that. You can find him there. If you haven't subscribed, like and subscribe. We'll be on next week as well. Tomorrow we're going to have another guest. It's going to be, I believe I'm having Roman on tomorrow. He's also made an indicator, done really well, but nonetheless, we are very much enjoying our time with Shark today. And let's continue on. He's got, let's see, Shark, you got about another 20 minutes left. You don't have to take another trade, but but you are positive. So you're our first positive one, but we're just getting this going. So
All right.
we can do it. And there'll be multiple chances. We'll have you back on again in the future, maybe a month or something down the road. And yeah, looking forward to it. If this gets popular enough, I'll be having a guest on every single day.
All right. Yeah, I don't know if I'm able to share my link inside of your YouTube channel. I went ahead and posted it in Discord if you
Okay,
want to go ahead and
I'll
share
link
it
it
in there.
then. Yeah, sure,
And
no problem.
then also, I do have a little bit of a filter in there because I do not advertise my Discord at all. So it's invite only. So if you get in there, just let us know, who invited you, a little bit about your. It's just kind of like a little screening area there that we have in there to make sure that we don't have spammers in there.
So I just took you guys on my screen real quick. Just for 1 second, I'm going to make sure I get this link. You said it's in your. There we go. Okay. Copy this. And let me see if I can actually send it here. Should be able to. Let's see here. Is that it? I don't know if that's it. It's not really showing me here. Hold on 1 second. Let's try this again. That looked like it. Okay. Let's see if this works here.
So what does everybody else think the market's going to do? If they had a crystal ball, what is everybody else seeing?
Guys, let me know if that link, let me see if this link actually works for myself here. Oops. Maybe. I'll go here. Make sure that link works. I think it's going to put me there. All right, maybe that put me there. Let me know if that link works. Some guy says higher. He says it's going higher. He doesn't know how high, but he said higher for sure. All right, I'm putting you back on the screen. Let's bring this back up here. Full screen. Here we go. All righty. Make sure that link works. If that link doesn't work, then we'll see what's going on here. So 171. 171's the. Is that what your take profit is? Some got you long right now.
I just went short again. We're gonna see if we can hold up for a short.
Okay. Where was that entry? Oh, you
No,
guys stopped
I just
already?
Stopped out right away.
Okay.
I don't think I entered it correctly. Because it stopped me out right away. It was a short.
It was a short? Okay. Short.
It doesn't make sense.
Let's see here. So let's see. We sold at 148. Fill price. That doesn't really make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
It's 4 points
Thumbs
makes
up for
sense. 20 points doesn't make sense. It seemed like it wanted to get that. So maybe that was, we'll call that a 2-point loss. Scratch it there.
I guess so.
It's 2.75. Is that just a misfill? We can
Yeah.
scratch that completely. So you wanted to go short, but it ended up not. You end up getting too high. All right, we'll scratch that one because we'll just call that a. I mean, those things happen in the markets, right? But I guess not according to the strategy. But if you were to go short, where would you have gone short from?
So below, let's see, right here at 152.
And then you wanted to, and then you put the stop right below it, so it instant filled you is what it did if you were short. And you meant to do like a 3-point stop above it or something?
I went the wrong way, honestly.
Yeah,
Instead of the stop was supposed to be above, and I came back down
yeah.
below, and so
Instantly filled it. Yep, that's
and,
okay.
it's working out. So figures.
Hey, it happens. That happens.
Right here, this is the candle too.
Oh man, who knows? You might get a second chance. We'll see. We got the right idea though. People see that was a good fill. I'm gonna have to. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to mitigate that in the future, right? People misclicking. I'll give them the scratch if it happens immediately. But I understand what you did there. You dragged it down because I do that stuff all the time. I think I'm going short. I'm short and I'm trying to play a long on accident or something. You know.
Yeah.
That's all part of trading.
and to be fair, this isn't usually the trading platform I execute trades off of. So.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. No, we appreciate it so much. You coming on anyways and joining us. We got about 15 minutes left. And I think I'm going to say, we'll both say goodbye there because that's about all the time I'm going to have available for the day.
Right. Well, cool. It was fun being on. I'm glad that you invited me.
Yeah, man.
And thanks. Let's do this again.
Yeah, we got about 15 minutes left and we're solid, man. Take your time and we're good. Yeah, for sure we'll have you on again. If I can get enough traders, if I get a big enough pool of traders, we'll be doing this every day. So this will be nice. I'm sorry, let me ask that question again. What would have been your target had you stayed in that short?
Yeah. Back down to this pre-market low.
Okay, for the 30, and you would have had a trailing stop that would have been, what, 10 points from the low? Or I'm sorry, not 10 points. Well, maybe.
Just whatever, one to one.
1 to 1?
1 to 1.
Okay. And you were risking roughly like 3 or 4 points, I think. Right?
Sure.
I think roughly. So, yeah. Man. For the leaderboard. So in this context, so we think we're going pre-market lows, but before you were mentioning that 100 level, how do you feel about that 100 level as far as like a the end of the day?
Well, we have okay, so on the daily, if I was to change this to a daily, is if I was to change this to a daily, we have a humongous fair value gap right here, which we yesterday we came a little bit down, and that is the let's see here. That is basically all of this area right here.
Okay.
So to stay bullish in this market on it on daily, we need to hold this 50%. So the market even though we're up, we could pull back to that 50% and still be bullish.
Got you. Got you.
And then also we have this humongous one here. So I mean, technically we have three humongous daily fair value gaps. And honestly, we only need to stay above the lower one, which is this one here, to
Got you.
continue to be bullish. So we have a lot of area that we can test lower, and the market's still going to potentially be bullish. But on the short term, we don't know how far back those pullbacks are going to be.
Right. Right. Could build some structure. Could slowly consolidate. I mean, we did move. What did they say? We had how much of a market cap? Like 3 trillion or something like that in a few days. Well, it was something
Yeah,
astounding.
yeah, it was over 1,000 points. So I mean, whatever that is. So the top of that fair value gap lines up right here with yesterday's low. That's where this great area is right there.
All right.
So if we were to get down there, that would not surprise me at all. Would not surprise me to go even as low as this. I don't know if it happened today or not,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a lot of different levels marked. I think where I think I found real buying really to be happening is if we came down to like 680, 700.
Mhm.
I think that was kind of the level that I was expecting buyers to step in again. If we did kind of on a macro move to the downside, but they're,
You're talking 20,680 to
yeah,
20,690.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I need to remark all my levels because I believe that's where it was at. That's where you're going to find reinforced buying was down at that
And
680.
and I do want to point out that my trade would have banked right there because it just hit it.
Oh yeah, look at that,
See
man.
that?
Yes, sir. In theory,
So
it's excellent. Your mind had great execution. Your hand, that's okay. That's good, man. That's a great decision. So again, we broke below the 707. We came up, retested. That was your point of entry. And then you continue to go lower, correct?
right.
Okay. And then you put a risk to reward. So if I think you were roughly at 50, 52 roughly, or 51, something like that for the
Right.
entry. So your stop would have been up to what, 57 maybe? 58?
Yeah, the stop would have been up in yeah, the same area as the other ones were, which were in this area.
Okay, so roughly 60. We'll just call it 60. So 51, so that's roughly 8.5 points. It came down, and I don't think we came up 8.5 points. I don't think we retraced 8.5 points anywhere, right?
Right.
So besides that uptick, yeah, before the fill. So that would have been a full on uh, execution that would have worked out in your favor. So that was great. Thank you so much for sharing the fibs and this positioning. It's very cool to watch. So now what's the kind of look? Trending down, would you be still continuing to look for some kind of short, or would you?
Yeah, actually now what I would do is I would take this and I would move this down since we already hit that at target. So now this one would be the next target. So this right here would be the next target. I'm going to get rid of this 50% because we already have these fibs. So really from here The next target would be all the way down here at 85.75, and then 50% of it would be um, let me see here. Let's go to this one. So 50% of it would be right here. Sometimes the market likes to take half targets as well.
All right. Very interesting. So what is that bottom target down there, that orange one?
So since we hit this target,
Mm-hmm.
I went ahead and moved that whole fib all the way down to the next fib,
Okay, okay.
which is it, which is this
Oh, on
one
a
on
macro,
my
on our macro. Yeah,
yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Got you. Very interesting. Okay. So you rely on fibs mostly. It seems like you get a lot of your levels and retests from fibs. Is there anything else that you like trading around them? VWAP, and fibs, that seems to be like the core, the foundation.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another tool that I made. Actually, I had made. I worked out with a guy for about 3 to 4 months, and
Okay.
it actually is a whole trading system,
Oh wow.
and typically it does really well. And
It's excellent.
yeah, and usually I use that, but what it
Started.
does is it draws boxes, and the boxes are like this one's so like the daily has would be like a daily VWAP, the time where it has settlement and then it has the open. You see that there's a little straight line in the middle of the two that gives the price difference of the two. Well, I've done that the same on different time frames. So broke them down to like 45-minute time frame. It updates every 45 minutes. Another one that updates every 5 minutes. Another one that updates another 4 hours. And what they do is they create this box, and typically anytime it's above the box, it's bullish, and if it's below it, it's bearish. Right now, um, I'm gonna change it to 5 minute just to see if we can see the 4 hour box, because sometimes it prints and sometimes it does not. Let's change it to 10 minute. And it's a lot of data. It's a lot of data that it takes to print this out. Um, so I'm just wondering if it's gonna do it. Right now we're still waiting for. Let's see, there's one there. So this is the last. This gray box, and it hasn't came up with the other box I had here that gives the data in there. But this is one of the boxes. This is a 4 hour time frame, which basically started, I think, at 9:30. Is that the
Okay.
45-minute one? I
So
gotta see.
so how would you, so the boxes are places on which you'll find what, maybe liquidity of some sort?
Uh, Support and resistance.
Okay.
Um, the so 4 hour support and resistance, and then like I don't know why it's not printing that other box. It's just a lot of data. It looks like I'm running too much data on there. Let's see if it'll do it on this one. But yeah, the market retests like every box. It'll retest 50% of it pretty much
Okay.
as it moves up or down, and it'll decide whether it wants to go up or down. And so like, you ever notice that like when you get in a trade and then a half hour will pass or an hour will pass, and then the trade will go against you, and it only comes back a certain amount before it keeps on going higher, and it never ends up going the direction is. And the reason why that happens is because these boxes, when they, well, I don't know if for the market side, but for the way that I think that it happens is that the VWAP, the value weighted average price, adjusts. And since the value weighted average price adjusts, it no longer has to make up the difference that it used to make up before. And
Has
that's
to,
finally that
it no
box is
longer
full.
has to make up the difference.
Right.
What do you can you expound on that a little bit?
So, okay, so like, okay, the difference between this box and this box, okay, it was trying to make up the difference as it came up into it. But then this new box appeared and price came down. And so it's never going to get up to this other box because now we only have 50% of this new box.
You say never
It,
going to. It's not going to unless we break that previous
unless we can,
box.
yeah, yeah, it's not going to unless we continue. You know, we if we get above it, then we could possibly do it. But the likelihood of it doing, and I shouldn't say never, yeah, but that's a pretty strong word, I guess.
Just making sure it's clear. So
Okay,
boxes are
so look
go
where
go ahead.
look what we're at. We're at
All
right
right.
here.
All right.
We're at the bottom of that. And that was my original goal, right there with this one. Um, so that trade would have panned out great.
Wow.
Um,
The
and now we're
ideas are
just on a
there.
free fall.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we take this one, which we're so close at it, but I can't move this. Now I can move this. So my next target, now that we did that, so since we touched it, I can move this down here. So this would be my next target,
Interesting. Okay.
or 50% of it.
Very cool.
50% here, and I've already got a line there, but I'll go ahead and put this just above it, just kind of. And so right now we've taken out the previous low of yesterday and the day before, and we're trading just below uh, the top of the daily fair value gap right here. So I suspect I'm just going to go ahead and take. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one there. I suspect that we could continue down to around 20,015. But this is a strong level here, so I don't know if we're gonna break it with momentum or not. We did right there. What? I don't full port anymore. I used to do that, but those days are over.
The chat didn't hear me. I had my mute. I said, I had 2 minutes left. You sure you don't want to full port one micro, one way or the other?" And that was his response.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So you great positioning, by the way, on that. That was really nice to see this trade workout as you described it. But yeah, no pressure. We're just kidding. You're positive, so that's a big thing. You don't want to be. We want to put you on a positive note, but you do what you want. We got 2 minutes left. We're so appreciative of having you on the stream. Thank you for joining. And we're going to get our other channel ready too. That's where I'm going to edit this one and post it. So excited about that as well.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and since we've had to move this fib, so like when I set up this fib between the 50 and the original VWAP and then the low and the 50, since I've did that, I've had to move it twice. So we're continuing down. So my guess is that we most likely I would say as an idea we would probably get to this next target.
All right. Rounding in, rounding off the hour here. 5 seconds left. And time. Shark,
Right.
pleasure. Thank you so
All right.
much
Yeah,
for
thanks
showing
so
us.
much.
Yeah, you ended up positive 5.75 points on the day.
All right.
That was great. It would have been a nice trade, but that's okay. Managing it. We'll have you on again. That was excellent. We're gonna put you on the list here on the board. For those of you that are watching, I posted the link in the chat for Shark's Discord. He said make sure you mention where you got the link. A little bit about maybe just mention if who told you what, or I should say that you saw this on Cafe Trader stream, and he'll make sure to make a note of that. Shark, anything left before we cut this trade off here?
Yeah, one other thing is that one thing I've noticed also with all these levels is at this time of the day, or like right now, if I was to take some of this stuff off of the chart and just look at it, what I've noticed is that the price as we get to this hour, it somehow has to make a decision whether it's going to try to get back to VWAP or not. And since we are away from VWAP a lot, we have a potential of getting back to it. So usually around this time, 1:30, 2:30, I like to see if it goes down more, and then I like to put a 50% fib back on from where price is to VWAP. And by the end of close, that gives me an idea. Let's see, I'm going to change this to a more
End
of a
of
regular fib. Let's see if
candle close? Is that what you're saying? End of the close of
yeah,
the candle?
for the day. For the
Okay,
day.
okay.
Put that one on there. So by the end of the day, usually see somewhere in this area between right around 50% if we don't get a continuation.
Got you. Okay.
So that would be my guess is closing price would be somewhere in this area.
Excellent. Well, Shark, thank you so
And
much
if
for
we
sharing your
continue,
fibs. Go ahead.
yeah,
Continue. Go ahead.
yeah.
Continue.
If we continue to get all the way back up to VWAP, sometimes it does that by the end of the day too. But
Gotcha.
usually it likes to just kind of come down and then get halfway.
All right.
Yeah, that's basically it.
All right.
So yeah.
That was fantastic, Shark. Thank you so much for sharing those fib levels, how you trade them. You gave us some insight on your psychology, your discipline, and how you approach the market, how you approach different prop firms, as you were saying, how you scale in. That's excellent. I think you were gonna mess with a live account too, right? You had a live account that you were gonna start trading with, or you mentioned something
Yeah,
about
right.
that.
Yeah, right now I had a live account before I came into futures, and I didn't continue with that with my options. And so when I got into trading futures, I went ahead and just kind of got all into it to see if there was anything I could possibly learn. And in that, I've learned quite a bit, and now I feel like it's time for me to start funding my own account again. And so I'm putting in some money in there at on a real account, and just kind of starting that process. Last few days, probably since Friday, Monday, still waiting to hear back from them. So
All
yeah.
right. Excellent, man. Thank you so much again, Shark, for joining. We're going to have you back in the future again. Link is in the chat if you wanted to join his Discord. Just a reminder to the chat, none of this is financial advice. None of these trades are trading recommendations. We're not financial advisors. We enjoy to speculate and to share what knowledge we have in our experience as traders. So we're so appreciative that you guys got to join in on this. Tomorrow we're going to have another trader, and we're going to be excited to continue to have host more people. And again, Shark, thank you for coming in the channel. Appreciate working with you in the future, man.
All right, take care.
Alrighty, guys, take care, Shark. All right, if you guys haven't, bye. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're here Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 9:30 Pacific, and we'll be trading futures daily. So until next